You explain too much, and it's quietly costing you your power. The long justification for a decision that was already yours to make. The over-apology, the need to make sure everyone understands your reasons, agrees with your choices, approves of your life. It feels like honesty, it feels like being a good person. But watch closely, and you'll see what it really is. A constant, exhausting plea for permission you never needed. The Stoics understood something most people never learn. The man who explains himself to everyone has made himself a servant to everyone. Every justification is a small surrender. Every unnecessary explanation hands a piece of your power to whoever you're explaining to. In the next 20 minutes, I'll show you why the strongest people say the least, and how learning to stop explaining yourself will change the way the world treats you. 7 truths, drawn from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. By the end, you'll understand that your silence was always your strength. Let's begin. Here's the trap. Almost no one sees. We believe that if we just explain ourselves well enough, people will finally understand, approve, and let us be at peace. So we explain and justify and clarify, and we feel every time a little smaller. The Stoics saw through this completely. They understood that you do not control what other people think of you. And the moment you start trying to, through endless explanation, you've handed them the controls of your inner life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that it was not his job to manage everyone's opinion of him. Epictetus taught that other people's judgments were simply not his business. They didn't explain themselves into the ground because they knew that approval bought with explanation isn't worth having. This isn't about being cold or refusing to ever communicate. It's about understanding the difference between speaking with purpose and speaking out of fear. Here are 7 truths that will teach you that difference. Starting with the one underneath all the others. The first truth is the foundation. Most of the explanations you give, no one is actually owed. You've been taught that you must justify yourself, your choices, your boundaries, your no, to anyone who questions them. So when someone challenges a decision, your instinct is to defend, to lay out your reasons, to win their understanding. But the Stoics drew a clear line around what is yours and what isn't. Your choices are yours. The other person's approval was never part of the deal. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by things, but by our judgments about them. And the deep need to be understood is just one more judgment, one more thing you've decided you can't live without. You can. A clear no needs no paragraph behind it. A decision that's yours to make needs no defense. The moment you stop believing you owe everyone an explanation, half the weight you've been carrying simply falls away. Practice the complete sentence. No, I've decided. That doesn't work for me. No essay, no apology. The strong don't explain their boundaries. They simply hold them. And that leads to the second truth about who actually does the talking. The second truth is how the strong communicate. They let what they do say what others use words to claim. The person who constantly explains is underneath it all, asking to be believed. The person who acts has no such need. The results speak louder than any justification could. Marcus Aurelius told himself to stop talking about what a good man should be and simply be one. He understood that announcing your virtues, your plans, your intentions is the behavior of someone seeking credit before they've earned it. Words are cheap and everyone knows it. A man who tells you how disciplined he is invites doubt. A man who is disciplined invites respect without saying a word. When you stop explaining who you are and start demonstrating it, something shifts. People stop measuring your words and start watching your actions, and your actions, if they're real, will say more than your mouth ever could. So, make a quiet rule. Don't announce it. Do it. Let the work be the argument. Let the change be the proof. The less you explain about who you are, the more powerfully it shows. And the third truth reveals what your over-explaining is actually giving away. The third truth is strategic. Every time you over-explain, you give away information that you should have kept. When you justify every decision, narrate every plan, and reveal every reason, you hand other people a complete map of how you think and a map of how to move you. They learn your fears, your insecurities, the buttons that make you defend yourself. The Stoics valued restraint, not out of secrecy for its own sake, but because they understood that a guarded mind is a sovereign one. Epictetus advised speaking little and only when necessary, because the one who reveals less keeps more of his power intact. Think of the difference between two people in a tense negotiation, a conflict, a moment of pressure. One explains everything, defends, overshares, fills every silence, and gives away exactly where he's weak. The other says little, holds his silence, reveals nothing he doesn't choose to, and stays unreadable, and therefore untouchable. The man who shows all his cards has already handed away the game. You don't owe people your reasoning. Keep your counsel. Let your silence make you a little harder to read. There is real power in being the calmest, quietest person in the room, the one who doesn't need to explain. And the fourth truth removes the reason you over-explain in the first place. The fourth truth is the one that sets you free. No amount of explaining will control what someone decides to think of you. This is the exhausting fantasy behind all over-explanation, the belief that if you just find the right words, you can make them understand, make them agree, make them approve. You can't. Epictetus built his philosophy on this exact division. Some things are up to us and some are not. Your actions and your words are up to you. The conclusion another person draws is entirely up to them. And when you pour your energy into controlling their judgment, you're spending yourself on something you were never going to win. Some people will misunderstand you, no matter how perfectly you explain. Some have already decided who you are, and no paragraph will move them. The person determined to think the worst of you will simply use your explanation as more material. So why hand it to them? When you truly accept that you cannot control their verdict, the compulsion to explain loses its grip, because you finally see that it never worked anyway. Do what is right. State it once if it matters. Then let their judgment be their problem, not yours. That release is where peace begins, and the fifth truth shows its sharpest form. The fifth truth is the hardest to practice and the most powerful. When someone disrespects or provokes you, the strongest reply is often no reply at all. Your instinct, when attacked or insulted or wrongly accused, is to defend yourself immediately, to explain, to correct the record, to make them see they were wrong. But that reaction hands the other person exactly what they wanted. Proof that they got to you. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is to not be like the one who wronged you, to remain composed while they lose themselves. Silence in the face of provocation is not weakness. It is the loudest statement of self-control there is. When you refuse to be drawn in, when you meet the insult with stillness instead of a scramble to defend yourself, you reveal that the attack didn't reach you. And nothing unsettles a provoker more than a target who cannot be provoked. The man who stays silent and unbothered seems to everyone watching untouchable. Because he is. He has something they couldn't shake. This doesn't mean accepting genuine harm without acting. It means refusing to dignify every jab with a defense. Let the insult fall into silence and die there. Your calm is the answer. And the sixth truth is about what all this explaining is quietly costing you. The sixth truth is one you feel even if you've never named it. The constant need to explain yourself is exhausting, and it's stealing your peace. Think about the energy it takes. Rehearsing what you'll say, replaying conversations, crafting the perfect justification, worrying whether they understood, defending yourself in your own head long after the moment has passed. Seneca warned that we waste our limited lives on things that don't deserve us, and few things drain more life than the endless internal project of managing what everyone thinks. It is a job that never ends because there is always one more person to convince. A mind that is always explaining itself is a mind that is never at rest. It has tied its peace to an impossible condition, universal understanding. And the moment you set that condition down, the moment you decide that not everyone has to get it and that's fine, a quiet enters your life that you may have forgotten was possible. You stop living in the courtroom of other people's opinions, defending a case that was never really on trial. Reclaim that energy. Let the conversation end, let the misunderstanding stand. Spend your one limited life on what matters, not on convincing people who were never going to be convinced. And the final truth is where all of this leads. The seventh and final truth is the mark of a truly sovereign mind. You become free the moment you can let people misunderstand you and not need to fix it. This is the hardest one because the need to be understood runs deep. We want to be seen correctly, judged fairly, known for who we really are. But the Stoics built their strength on an inner foundation. What Marcus Aurelius pictured as a citadel within, a place no outside opinion could reach. A man with that inner citadel doesn't crumble when he's misjudged, because his sense of who he is doesn't live in other people's heads, it lives in him. When you can let someone walk away with the wrong idea of you and feel no urgent need to chase them down and correct it, you have arrived somewhere most people never reach. You've discovered that you can survive being misunderstood, that their wrong opinion changes nothing about who you actually are, that you don't need the whole world to see you clearly in order to stand firm. That is real freedom, to be at peace, whether or not you are understood. Build that citadel. Know who you are so completely that you no longer need everyone else to confirm it. Let them misunderstand you. You'll be too busy living your life to defend a version of yourself you never needed their permission to be. So here is what changes when you stop explaining yourself. You stop believing you owe everyone a justification. You let your actions speak instead of your words. You stop revealing your hand to people who didn't earn it. You release the fantasy of controlling what others think. You answer disrespect with silence instead of a scramble. You reclaim the peace that endless explaining was stealing, and finally you become free enough to let people misunderstand you without needing to fix it. Notice the thread running through all seven. Every one of them is about taking your power back from the opinions of others. The Stoics weren't teaching you to be cold or secretive or arrogant. They were teaching you to stop being a prisoner of approval, to speak when it serves a purpose, and to hold your silence the rest of the time, like the strong, self-possessed people you've always quietly admired. You don't have to master all seven today. Start with one. The next time you feel the urge to over-explain, to justify, to defend something that was already yours, pause and simply don't. Let the silence sit. Feel how much power was hiding in it all along. Stop explaining yourself and watch how differently the world begins to treat you. If this resonated, subscribe and come back next time when we look at the Stoic art of staying unshakable when everyone wants a reaction from you. Until then, say less and stand stronger.